Yo, welcome back to the second eggsoup channel. Today we're talking about this big new Brawlhalla update. So I'm going to give you the recap of the important things you need to know here. This is going to be what I like to call a second monitor special, because I'm just going through these notes, and then give a little bit of my perspective, what you can expect to see. And this Chakram nerfs. There's a lot of Chakram nerfs. I did make a full video on that, but now they have more official notes, so we see what's going on there. So the first things first, this is Brawlhalla Fest. This is now a yearly event. This is the third time running. It was first the 100 million Brawlers event, then it turned into Brawlhalla Fest, and now it is the second year as that name. So they're saying there's free rewards. It's all themed around the new graphic novel that's coming out that you can pre-order. It'll come out in June. I pre-ordered it like yesterday. I'm gonna do a review on that. One of those I read this so you don't have to type of things. I don't know if it's gonna be a full video. It's probably gonna be on eggsoup on this channel. Also a bunch of sales, a bunch of new stuff. Let's get into the meat of things. So basically, there is an entire new event center that they have now launched. It was announced yesterday and it's in the game today. And this has a new system to unlock free rewards for the game. Wow, saying ours there was very difficult. Free rewards, excuse me. Basically, there's missions every day. You earn tickets from those missions, and those tickets allow you to get free items. So it's pretty good, I would say. I think the rewards are not necessarily something that I'm particularly drawn to, but I'm also a little bit of a weirdo. So maybe that's why I'm not the most excited, but I think this is ultimately a very, very good change to the game. I think it's a great addition. It's also just a way to condense these events into an actual digestible menu so you know what's going on, and then presumably that menu is also going to show you the past events, what there were previously, so that, you know, you're not just lost. It's like, oh, this is the history of events that I have participated in. So for those events, there is a Brawlcade cabinet, which is an emote, and there's 11 different variations. You can use the emote with a teammate, with an enemy, 2 people can do it. And then there's some emoji skins. There's Caspian, there's a Thor, there's a Core, there's a Bryn, and then there is a title as well. The grand prize, if you unlock all of those, is a companion. So it is the companion that's linked to the new Nick skin, which we will get into in a little bit. That one's a little crazy. But yeah, those are the free events that you can earn. Ultimately, I think the emoji skins actually look pretty good. Companions, I'm not a huge fan of. It's not something that I personally use. But having some kind of free reward for players that don't want to spend money on the game or can't afford to spend money on the game has been missing, I would say, for a little while. That's not all though. There's I believe there's a chest, a daily chest, that you can also unlock if you do enough of the daily missions. It says if a mission has a chest icon, it'll grant you a random free reward of gold or a cosmetic. So there are also separate cosmetics that you could get from this. I don't know if you can see my UI here. I don't think you can, but embarrassingly, I am using Microsoft Edge to record this video. Please stay on the second monitor. So these tickets will be available until June 3rd, and then the Brawlhalla Fest tab will be open for 1 week longer, so you can use your tickets to unlock the items. Basically, there is a 1 week buffer period if you didn't log in, if you can't use your items. So up until June 10th, this event is going to be running. That is 4 weeks, I believe, if my math is correct, almost a full month. In the first week, I'm going to get into this later as well, every single legend is unlocked, which is great because there is a new color scheme. So this is like Charged OG, this is like Bifrost. If you win a match with a legend, you unlock their color. And if you win with everyone, you unlock that color for all current and future legends. So the color is called Art Deco. I'm sure by now you've probably seen it. This is a little bit of an unprepared eggsoup clips video, and I don't have the images on hand, and I apologize for that. But once again, if you're watching The Office on your main monitor, or you're playing Balatro, then I suppose that's not a big deal. Let's get into the skin, because this is a little crazy. So Ascended Nyx is the first of these ascended legends, I should say. Sorry, I got a little ahead of myself in that commentary. And it's all themed around this new graphic novel. It is the first non-crossover mythic skin, they're saying. And the only way you can buy it is in a bundle. So that's a little weird. Good thing the bundle isn't expensive, right? It's 900 mammoth coins. It costs 900 mammoth coins. So what are you getting for 900 mammoth coins? You're getting the skin, which I'll admit looks pretty great. It does look pretty cool. The light attacks have special SFX. They have special VFX. The signatures, of course, do as well. The Blaster's down sig in particular is very cool. You summon this like horse from the ground, as well as the first ever trail effect. If you don't know what a trail effect is, you know when you hit somebody and they're really damaged and they get sent flying and you see those trails? Well, that can be changed now. This is the first time they've ever done this. This skin has these purple, these ghastly trail effects that's tied to this, and that's part of the bundle. There's also a KO effect, an animated sidekick, and an emoji skin. So that's the only way you can get this skin. Technically, the skin is 740 mammoth coins on its own because it's the skin and the trail effect together make 740, and then all the other things add up to 900. It's a little bit crazy. It's a little bit crazy. I gotta say, I'm not a huge fan of that. If it was offered individually and then there was a bundle, that would be better. But the fact that it's exclusive in the bundle makes it a little bit shady, I would say. I mean, it's the same things that I talked about with the Destiny bundle way back then. Not the biggest fan of that. Let's be real, I don't know who is, but no doubt a lot of people will get this because the skin itself is pretty cool. Talking about bundles, there's also one more bundle here called the Destiny bundle. And this one's fine. This one's actually totally fine. It has Fallen Bryn, Devil Cross, Brinadoodle Avatar, Cross-Doodle Avatar, and a Bryn BRB emoji skin. None of these are exclusive to the bundle. You can get them all on your own. If you can tell by the names, if you don't know what Fallen Bryn is, it's kind of like a Fallen Angel type of thing. This one is like an Angels and Devils type of bundle here. And this one's fine. I think if you want all of these items, this is the best way to do it. You're gonna get it on a deal. Wow, I really can't speak today. If I can peel back the curtain, I just did an interview for one of my esports documentaries. I'm a little talked out. Apologies for that. But the Brawlhalla news never stops, I suppose. So that's what's going on there. Another bundle. All right, a new map as well, Old Evaldi Mine. This one is an experimental 1v1 queue as well as custom lobbies. It's sort of like a flat Brawlhaven map, but there's lava at the bottom. That's kind of cool, and the art looks pretty good as well. You can see that in game. New Brawl of the Week, using the new map, that's totally fine. Let's get into the weekly special events. So, for every weekend of this Brawlhalla Fest event, there is double XP and gold, which is good because some of these missions, I believe, if you complete them and you don't spend your tickets, it also converts into XP and gold. So not only is there double XP and gold if you want golden XP, but there's even more if you complete the missions. So that's something to know if that's of interest to you. All legends will be on free rotation this week, every single one of them, all 65. So if you have the time to win a match with every character, then you can go ahead and do that even if you don't have them all. I'm definitely going to be doing this. I want to get the colors. I want to get them in one sitting and do recording for that. I can't do it today, so that'll probably come out in like June based on the work that I'm doing for my current videos. There's also themed sales next week. I don't really particularly care about this much, but if you're interested in any of these skins, then go for it. There are epic skins on sale for the first time apparently, so Void Zenith Artemis, then Shinsekai Koji, Inari Yumiko, and Apocalypse Mirage will go on sale, among a bunch of others. Mad Genius Scarlet looks like will as well, so all of those epic skins will go on sale. There's going to be Brawl of the Day events in the third week, so every single day it'll change. And then in the final week, there is a new skirmish. Oh, beginning in the third week, excuse me, but it's running until the final week. So the skirmish is speed versus strength. There are some leaked images about which is which and what they look like. I think I'm gonna go for Team Speed, but we'll see. We'll see. The titles are either the fastest or the strongest. So I think the strongest title is probably better, but I anticipate the speed icons and everything looking better. So yeah, let's see. Some daily missions have been rebalanced, so the damage ones have been reduced. The end sig KOs have been reduced, side sig KOs have been reduced, and down sig KOs have been reduced. So those can be done a lot faster. There's some gameplay improvements, so Steam things will run a little bit better. and performance improvements as well. There's also increased time to vote on a map from 10 to 20 seconds if people are being rushed. Honestly, I think the 10 seconds is probably better, but you know, it is what it is. Some art and animation fixes, some audio fixes, UI, UX fixes. All right, this is all great. Let's get into the crazy stuff. Balance. So if you've seen my breakdown on this already, then I think you've gotten the info you need to get. I'm just going to give a super brief overview here, especially now that we have actual patch notes. So we only had the balance changes before. Now we understand why they're trying to make them. So they say the patch contains adjustments for the Chakram in the lead up to the mid-season championship at CEO. These changes further widen gaps in follow-up attacks for the split mode, leaving the weapon to rely on its maneuverability on hit to mix up opponents rather than any actual frame advantage. We have also reined in certain attacks that allowed for a large degree of movement that would contribute to early vertical knockouts. That's a lot of words. That's a lot of words. What does that actually mean? Basically, they're saying this weapon is not going to be as good anymore for a combo tool, and instead its strength is... Did my screen just flash a duck there? Instead, its strength is going to come from its movement only. So that's really what they're getting at here. Take out some of the craziness and make it more, I don't even know how to describe it, more of a movement tool. Yeah, I was a little distracted there. I was gonna open up my Brawlhalla to show you these changes in game, but I realized there's so many, I actually don't even want to go through all of them. I can do that in a future video. Also, I haven't even launched the game since the update, so I still have to go through all that. All right, Fuse Downlight has more recovery time. So it's a greater risk when you're trying to switch out from the split one in the neutral game, or switch to the split mode in the neutral game, I should say. So like going into split is riskier. So they're making everything about split riskier, basically. Split neutral air has less stun, so you can't combo as much. Fuse down air has less acceleration, so you can't escape as easily. And it also goes into the ground when you hit it on the ground. And so you're less able to just like jump around forever. Alright, split down air had a lot of changes, so basically it's going to be slower to come out, it's going to have less stun, it's going to have more recovery time, it's going to descend to the ground on hit and on miss. Now this change I believe was not in the patch notes that they listed earlier, so this is a new one, if I'm not mistaken. And the far grounded version descends, the close grounded version has more recovery. Basically everything about this move is laggier and does less stun. Now, fused recovery has less backward acceleration. Split recovery has, oh my god, more startup, less acceleration. I can't even speak. Reduced travel distance, so it doesn't go as far. It has less stun, more recovery time. Basically, Chakram got hit with some of the biggest nerfs in Brawlhalla history. Like, actually. So, this patch is pretty crazy. If we're talking about breaking ground, like, some of these changes are the biggest changes we've seen in Brawlhalla history. Not just on the balance end, but in terms of, like, a completely new event system that rewards people who are dedicated to the game. I think it's complicated when you add free items to a game, because then it's like, well, should we really need this? Aren't people just being greedy? Aren't they being entitled? But no, if the only changes are monetization, of course people are going to get upset. And you want to reward the people that are dedicated to your game. So these are really good. Having a whole system means they were working on this on the back end for a very long time. They even said on the dev stream they had to do back end development to make an entire internal system to be able to run this, because you can't just add something to the game when there's all of this existing code. And so they had to make an entirely new system for that. So as well as the new queues. If you didn't know, I put out a news video yesterday on this channel with all of that, but there's going to be an unranked 1v1 queue. There's a new sports queue that's live in the game now, and all of that stuff. So yeah, if you're interested in that, check that out. This is eggsoup. This is a very experimental channel. Let me know what you would like to see on it. And yeah, I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye bye.